I actually watch all Saturday Night Live. I'm not a fan of it. I just don't think it's very good at all. It's so weird.
To laugh.
There was one sketch they did with the guys called, oh my God, what's that? The sketch, the video guys.
Please do not destroy.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Justin Timberlake was, I wonder why he didn't kick off. Like, I would figure if you watch Saturday Night Live, as the night goes on, you start losing people. So I would think you'd have the most viewers earlier on, and he did his new song, Selfish, last. Like, I don't know why he didn't do that first. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Did you like his songs?
I like the new one. Actually, I like
Selfish.
the new one. No, the new one he premiered, or unless that
The
was an old
Testify
one.
or Sacrifice.
Sanctified.
Sanctified, yeah.
Sanctified.
That's pretty good.
I think that's a new one off his album. And I like that actually better than Selfish. I was like, it's got some nice little beat. He's got dancers.
Got some church up in there.
Yeah, that one was cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I was underwhelmed by all the sketches that I saw on.
Yeah, same. I don't know what's
YouTube.
going on with that show. Also, speaking of TV, then I finished Griselda.
Yeah, so did I.
I got obsessed with that show, man. I started Googling everything.
I started it yesterday and I turned it off because I was like, this is kind of boring.
Oh, really?
You have to watch it at
I like it.
1.25 speed.
Do I? Okay, that might be it. It moved really, really slow for me.
I felt like the first couple episodes moved really slow too because it was like all the setup of how she like got into it. But then once you start, when she gains power and all the stuff goes down, it's like, dang.
But that's real. Like, I'm watching I just finished episode 2. So I'm just at the beginning of the ride. And what she has to do to get to where she's going is amazing to me. If that's all true, if all those things are true.
Well,
it's such a crazy story.
It's 6 episodes. I finished it. It's Sofia Vergara. She plays Griselda, this cocaine grandmother or godmother, they call her. After watching it, there's a documentary on her on Hulu. And that documentary breaks it down even more detail. And they're like, for Hollywood, they got to change things. Mm-hmm. So a lot of stuff is different. First of all, did you know, who do you think came first, her or Pablo Escobar?
Pablo Escobar.
No, Pablo Escobar worked for her.
What?
Yes. She taught him everything.
What?
Isn't that weird?
I felt like it had to be that way because isn't that what he said? He was scared of only one man, and it was a woman named
but I
Griselda?
figured that meant later. And watching, I thought, later she turns into power. But he was like her intern, for lack of a better phrase. Yeah. So, and then
he did well for himself.
She killed over 200 people. She killed more people than Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy combined.
Wow.
And she killed people like when you watch the show, like you see her have people kill. She killed a lot of people
herself.
There's some. The documentary's crazy. The documentary was made, and her son, Michael Corleone, her son is in it telling the whole story. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, so he lived?
He's alive still. He's
One of them lived?
The youngest one.
All of them died.
He wants to sue Netflix.
Why?
Because he says that's not the way his mom. And he's right if you watch the documentary.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's on Netflix. That's number 1 on Netflix. So, also Super Bowl. Yeah, that's big.
Right.
Super Bowl. How do we not talk? Here, if you miss the Super Bowl.
Well, that didn't
hasn't happened yet.
If you miss who's going to be in the Super Bowl. If you miss who's going to be in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs, and believe it, you got to fight for your right to party!
And there it is. The 49ers are going to the Super Bowl.
Which is not the script that we were talking about.
That is not the script.
Not the script, but
No.
the Super Bowl is going to be happening. It's going to be the Chiefs and the 49ers. That was fun. I watched a lot of that stuff, and also Griselda. But the thing that got me going this weekend is there's this famous car auction called Barrett-Jackson. I actually sold the car at it last year. In fact, when I went last year, I was like, okay, this is like the pinnacle as far as being involved in this event. I actually sold the car at Barrett-Jackson, part of the auction, drove it up on there, and did the whole thing. It was really cool. My car was really, really cool. And then I go to Kyle's Instagram account, and the way she went to Barrett-Jackson is just baller status times 10.
Pretty bananas. So I was telling you guys, Scott and I were going on a double date with Cameron. He's the owner of Green Mango. We've known him for 10 years. And at the Christmas party, we're like, why have we never gotten together? Like, let's do a double date. So we're trying to figure out what to do. And I was telling you guys, I was like, Scott wanted to go somewhere lame and boring. And I was like, let's go to a restaurant that has like activities. And so I sent him a text of like a few restaurant ideas, and he calls me, he goes, how about this? A buddy of mine owns this $3 million helicopter. He knows the owner of Barrett-Jackson, and we're going to fly the helicopter right into Barrett-Jackson. I was like, your idea wins. Much better than my restaurant options. I was like, yes, please. So So we meet Cam, his wife Alyssa, and then we meet Troy and his wife Brooke, they're the owners of this helicopter, right? And we're like, okay, we're doing this. So we go to the airfield. And we get there, and there's this gigantic green and black. I'm perfect for green mango.
Yeah.
A green and black helicopter. We get in. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting in the back seat. They're like, here, you put these headphones on. Here's how you put the strap. It's like all the seatbelts, very strange, right? And we take off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're like flying above the city right now. It's gorgeous. Like the sun is setting over the city. And I'm like, what is my life right now? Like, what is happening?
That's
And I'm
baller.
like, and everyone in there like has done this before, I think, except for me and Scott. And I'm like, do I take my camera out? Do I look stupid if I'm taking my camera out? Like, I don't want to be like, try to play it cool, right? Anyways, I take my camera out because like, why wouldn't I, right? So it's like the shortest ride ever, right? It's like 6-7 minutes and we're there already. Like this thing's going so fast. And we literally fly into the field where other people are parked cars and we're landing this helicopter. I was like, man, this is the way to do it. We didn't have to deal with traffic or anything.
All eyes on you coming out of the
Yeah,
helicopter,
my wife
Bananas.
Blake, I showed Blake the video, and she's like, where are they going to land? And I go, I have to believe that Barrett Jackson sells these $1 million cars, that they have some people that might be landing there in helicopters.
We landed next to another helicopter. Oh my gosh.
Trying to steal
Man.
your thunder.